Start with a powerful personal hook or anecdote, e.g., ever feel like your body forgot how to sleep? You're not alone, especially if you're over 50. Introduce the central theme, how hormone changes disrupt sleep, and how poor sleep undermines health after age 50. Promise viewers a journey through the science behind sleep hormones, the cascading effects of sleep loss, and, most importantly, proven solutions. Chapter 1: The Science of Sleep Hormones. Sleep isn't just rest, it's a tightly choreographed hormonal symphony. After age 50, this symphony becomes increasingly vulnerable to disruption. Let's explore the key sleep stages and the hormones that govern them. Sleeping symbol sleep stages and their hormonal roles. NREM, non-rapid eye movement, occurs in 3 stages. Deep NREM, stage 3, is when growth hormone is released. Crucial for cellular repair, immune modulation, and muscle recovery. REM, rapid eye movement. Brain activity resembles wakefulness. Vital for emotional processing, memory consolidation, and cortisol regulation. Microscope the main hormones that regulate sleep and health. Waxing crescent moon melatonin, the hormone of darkness. Produced by the pineal gland, melatonin signals your brain that it's time to sleep. Levels rise in darkness and are suppressed by light, especially blue light from screens. After 50, melatonin levels can drop by more than 50%, leading to trouble falling asleep. Warning sign: cortisol, the stress hormone. Follows a daily rhythm, peaks in the morning, should decline at night. In insomnia or chronic stress, nighttime cortisol remains elevated, making it harder to fall or stay asleep. High cortisol also increases blood sugar, breaks down muscle, and impairs memory. Flexed biceps growth hormone, GH. Secreted during deep sleep, especially before midnight. Supports tissue repair, bone remodeling, fat metabolism, and muscle maintenance. Reduced sleep equals reduced GH equals increased risk of sarcopenia and osteoporosis. Place setting: leptin and ghrelin, appetite regulators. Leptin suppresses appetite, drops with poor sleep. Ghrelin increases hunger, rises with sleep deprivation. This imbalance triggers late-night cravings and overeating. Insulin. Sleep loss leads to insulin resistance, even after just a few nights. This raises blood sugar levels and increases the risk for type 2 diabetes and abdominal fat accumulation. Right-pointing magnifying glass: what the research shows. A 2020 study published in Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found older adults with low melatonin had significantly worse sleep quality and increased cortisol levels. Chronic insomnia correlates with a persistent flattening of the cortisol rhythm and reduced GH output. Clock # Chapter 2: What happens to sleep after 50? As we age, our sleep architecture changes. But these shifts are not just natural, they're hormonally driven. Sleeping face age-related sleep changes. Lighter sleep, less time in deep, restorative NREM sleep. Frequent awakenings, sleep becomes fragmented. Earlier bedtimes and wake times, the circadian rhythm shifts forward. Difficulty falling or staying asleep, often linked to hormonal decline. Chart with downward trend: the hormonal culprits. Melatonin decline. The pineal gland calcifies with age, reducing melatonin output. Supplementation often becomes necessary after 50, but must be timed precisely. More on this in Chapter 5. Black down arrow # blunted growth hormone pulses. GH secretion during sleep can decrease by up to 75% in older adults. This accelerates muscle loss, skin thinning, and decreased exercise recovery. Warning sign: increased cortisol reactivity. Aging brains become more sensitive to stress. Cortisol spikes more easily and stays elevated longer after stressors, like poor sleep itself. Key statistics. Over 40% of adults over 50 report insomnia symptoms. Up to 70% of men over 65 show signs of sleep apnea, interrupted breathing that fragments sleep and spikes cortisol. Women after menopause often experience hot flashes and hormone-driven night wakings, further disturbing sleep. Green Apple Chapter 3, The Domino Effect, Health Problems Fueled by Hormone Disruption. Poor sleep isn't just a nuisance, it sets off a biochemical cascade that erodes multiple systems of the body. Bone density and muscle health. Without deep sleep, growth hormone release plummets. This impairs bone remodeling and muscle repair. Studies link chronic poor sleep with a 100% increase in osteoporosis risk in women over 50. Scales weight gain and metabolism. Leptin drops, ghrelin rises, increased appetite, especially for sugar and starch. Insulin resistance develops, especially with just 5 to 6 hours of sleep nightly. One study found that sleep-deprived individuals consumed 300 to 500 extra calories a day without realizing it. Shield immune function. Sleep boosts cytokine production, which is essential for immune defense. Sleep loss reduces T-cell activity, making older adults more susceptible to infections and slower to heal. Mood, memory, and cognitive decline. Elevated cortisol disrupts memory consolidation and promotes anxiety and depression. Sleep helps clear beta-amyloid, a toxin linked to Alzheimer's. Ongoing poor sleep in older adults is linked to a 30 to 50% increased risk of cognitive decline. Red heart cardiovascular risk. Poor sleep increases nighttime blood pressure and promotes atherosclerosis. Sleep apnea triples the risk of atrial fibrillation in adults over 60. Studies show those with chronic insomnia have a 45% higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. Hammer and wrench Chapter 4, The Vicious Cycle of Hormones and Sleep Loss. Sleep and hormones are locked in a feedback loop. When one suffers, the other worsens. Repeat button the cycle. Poor sleep elevated night cortisol. Leads to more fragmented sleep. Cortisol suppresses melatonin. Even light exposure from screens makes this worse. Low melatonin equals shallow sleep. Sleep doesn't reach the depth needed to trigger GH release. Low GH equals poor recovery, more fatigue, which further stresses the body and keeps cortisol high. Functional medicine insight. The HPA axis, hypothalamus pituitary adrenal, becomes dysregulated. The nervous system remains in fight or flight, even during sleep. Over time, this hormonal imbalance accelerates biological aging. Open book real-life case example. A 55-year-old woman came to a sleep clinic with complaints of nighttime awakenings, fatigue despite 8 hours in bed, weight gain, especially belly fat, anxiety and brain fog. Testing showed elevated evening cortisol, low melatonin, suppressed GH, disrupted insulin response. Treatment with light therapy, breathing practices, and low-dose melatonin helped restore balance within 8 weeks, along with better energy, mood, and metabolism. Person in Bed Chapter 5, Rebalancing Melatonin Naturally After 50. Before jumping to pills, consider lifestyle interventions to restore melatonin rhythm. Sun with rays daytime, anchor your circadian clock. Morning light exposure, 10 to 30 minutes outside. Tells your brain it's daytime. Starts the 16-hour countdown for melatonin to rise at night. Consistent wake time, even on weekends. Keeps melatonin rhythm stable. Cityscape at dusk evening, prepare the body for sleep. Dim lights 2 hours before bed. Use amber lights or blue blocking glasses. No screen 60 minutes before sleep. Blue light equals melatonin suppression. Keep bedroom cool, 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit, quiet, and dark. Environmental signals matter. Nutritional support. Foods that support melatonin, tart cherries, walnuts, kiwi, almonds. Herbs, chamomile, valerian, lemon balm, passion flower. Supplements. Start with 0.3 to 1 mg melatonin, 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Avoid high doses unless directed by a physician. Crescent moon sample night routine for a 10 p.m. sleep goal. 7:30 p.m. herbal tea plus stretch. 8 p.m. turn off screens, switch to warm lighting. 8:30 p.m., magnesium glycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams. 9 p.m., journaling or reading. 9:30 p.m., take melatonin. 10 p.m., bedtime. Crescent Moon Chapter 6, Taming Cortisol, Stress Meets Sleep. Cortisol isn't bad, it's essential for alertness in the morning. But it must be low at night for quality sleep. Lifestyle tools to lower cortisol before bed. For 7-8 breathing. Inhale for seconds, hold 7, exhale 8. Activates the parasympathetic nervous system. Box breathing, 4-4-4-4. Used by Navy SEALs to calm the mind. Evening yoga or stretching. Calms the vagus nerve. Gratitude journaling. Shown to lower nighttime cortisol and improve sleep onset. Place setting # nutritional tips. Avoid caffeine after 12 p.m. Caffeine blocks adenosine, a sleep signaler. Limit sugar and alcohol in the evening. Both spike blood sugar and cortisol. Eat magnesium-rich foods. Spinach, pumpkin seeds, avocado. Herb adaptogens and supplements. Ashwagandha reduces cortisol and improves sleep latency. Rhodiola regulates HPA axis, supports resilience. L-theanine, amino acid in green tea, calms without sedation. Magnesium glycinate or threonate crosses the blood-brain barrier for better impact. Chapter 7, Growth Hormone, Muscle and Bone Restoration. Microscope why deep sleep is your growth hormone superpower. Growth hormone, GH, is one of the most critical anti-aging and regenerative hormones, and over 75% of it is secreted during deep, slow-wave sleep, especially in the first half of the night. After age 50, both deep sleep and GH output decline, creating a double threat to muscle maintenance, bone density, skin health, and fat metabolism. Without enough GH, bone remodeling slows down. Muscle mass and strength decline, sarcopenia. Fat accumulates more easily, especially around the midsection. Recovery from workouts and injuries takes longer. Weightlifter ## how to stimulate GH naturally. Resistance training, 2-3x per week. Focus on compound movements that activate large muscle groups. Examples: squats, lunges, push-ups, rows, deadlifts, planks. Lifting at moderate to heavy intensity, 8 to 12 representatives, triggers GH release post-exercise and primes the body for deep sleep that night. High-intensity interval training, HIIT. Do short bursts of intense effort, e.g., 30-second sprint, 90 seconds rest, for 15 to 20 minutes, 1 to 2 times per week. HIIT boosts GH secretion more effectively than steady-state cardio and improves insulin sensitivity, which also enhances sleep quality. Tryptophan-rich protein at dinner. Tryptophan is a precursor to serotonin and melatonin. Include proteins like turkey, cottage cheese, eggs, lentils, tofu, or pumpkin seeds. Pair with complex carbs like quinoa or sweet potato to enhance tryptophan transport into the brain. Salad Chapter 8, Appetite Hormones, Reset Hunger Signals. Disephase #sleep loss disrupts hunger hormones. Two powerful hormones regulate appetite. Leptin signals fullness, satiety hormone. Ghrelin triggers hunger, especially for carbs and sweets. Just one night of poor sleep can drop leptin by 15 to 20%. Increase ghrelin by 20 to 25%. This imbalance leads to intense cravings, especially in the evening, which can contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, and nighttime indigestion, further disrupting sleep. Place setting # nutritional fixes to rebalance ghrelin and leptin. High protein, high fiber breakfast. Sets the tone for regulated hunger all day. Examples: eggs plus avocado toast, Greek yogurt plus berries plus chia seeds, oatmeal with flaxseed and almond butter. Avoid late-night snacking. Eating after 8 to 9 p.m., especially high-carb or sugary foods, increases insulin and cortisol, impairing melatonin release and reducing deep sleep. Instead, Try calming teas or light protein snacks, like a boiled egg or a small handful of almonds, if truly hungry. Incorporate hormone-friendly fats. Fats help stabilize blood sugar and support hormone production. Add sources like avocado, olive oil, fatty fish, sardines, salmon, flax seeds, and walnuts into your daily meals. Droplet Chapter 9, Insulin, Metabolism and Sleep Harmony. Counterclockwise arrows the sleep or blood sugar cycle. Lack of sleep increases insulin resistance, while high blood sugar levels disturb sleep, especially in midlife. Here's what happens. Poor sleep, higher cortisol, elevated blood glucose. This keeps insulin levels high and prevents deep sleep. Over time, this cycle increases the risk of type 2 diabetes, belly fat, and metabolic syndrome. Wrench strategies to regain balance. Time-restricted eating, TRE. Aim for a 12 to 14-hour overnight fast. Example, eat between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., or 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. TRE lowers nighttime insulin levels and promotes more restful sleep. Avoid stimulants in the evening. No caffeine after 12 p.m., it can stay in your system for 6 to 8 hours. Skip combos like coffee plus sugar or chocolate-based desserts after dinner. Low glycemic evening meals. Choose slow-burning carbs like lentils, brown rice, quinoa, or sweet potato. Pair with lean protein and vegetables. Avoid high glycemic foods like white bread, soda, or pastries which spike blood sugar and delay melatonin onset. Busts in Silhouette Chapter 10, Mental Health, Hormones, and Sleep. The emotional hormonal feedback loop. Sleep and mental health are deeply interconnected through neurohormones like cortisol, serotonin, and melatonin. Poor sleep increases the risk of anxiety and depression, brain fog and memory issues, emotional instability and irritability. In turn, stress and low mood raise evening cortisol, making sleep even harder, especially in adults over 50, when hormone resilience is reduced. Hammer and wrench tools to break the loop. CBTI, Cognitive Behavioral Therapy for Insomnia. Proven more effective than sleeping pills. Teaches your brain to disassociate the bed from anxiety. Techniques include stimulus control, sleep restriction, and sleep hygiene reconditioning. Mindfulness meditation, 10 to 15 minutes. Shown to lower evening cortisol and increase melatonin. Free apps like Insight Timer or Headspace can guide you. Gratitude and sleep journaling. Writing 3 things you're grateful for and logging sleep quality each night improves emotional regulation and reinforces healthy sleep rituals. Social connection and oxytocin. Close friendships, physical affection, or even pet interaction increases oxytocin, which counteracts cortisol and improves emotional sleep quality. Counterclockwise arrows Chapter 11, A Blueprint for Restorative Sleep After 50. Here's your daily and weekly action plan to rebalance hormones and reclaim sleep naturally. 7 o'clock morning routine, 7 to 9 a.m. Sunlight exposure, 10 to 20 minutes. Kickstarts the circadian clock and sets melatonin timing. Movement, 20 to 30 minutes. Gentle walk, light stretching, or resistance training. Protein plus fiber breakfast. Stabilizes ghrelin and insulin. Examples, veggie omelette plus chia smoothie, oatmeal plus walnuts. 5 o'clock daytime habits, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Avoid caffeine post-lunch. Keeps adenosine, sleep pressure, intact. Mid-afternoon light break, 90-minute outdoors or by a window. Helps anchor the second melatonin phase. Stay hydrated. Dehydration worsens sleep apnea and nighttime leg cramps. 6 o'clock evening wind down, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Dim lights after 7 p.m. Use amber lighting or candles. Gentle exercise. Yoga, foam rolling, or light resistance bands to relax the nervous system. Bone-friendly dinner. Include lean protein, chicken, tofu, salmon, greens, and magnesium-rich foods, spinach, quinoa, avocado. Supplements. Herbal tea, lemon balm, chamomile, Magnesium glycinate or threonate, 200 to 400 mg, 1 hour before bed. 10 o'clock bedtime ritual, -10 p.m. Breathing practice or body scan meditation. Optional melatonin, 0.3 to 1 mg. Bedroom setup. Total darkness, blackout curtains. Cool temperature, 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. No noise or EMFs, unplug nearby electronics. Calendar weekly focus. White Heather Checkmark 2 strength training sessions. White Heather Checkmark 1 HIIT to sprint session. White Heather Checkmark daily mindfulness, 5 to 15 minutes. Crossmark avoid alcohol and sugar after 5 p.m. Bullseye Chapter 12, long-term monitoring and adjustments. Optimizing sleep hormones after 50 isn't a one-time fix, it's an evolving process of self-awareness, testing, and tweaking. Bed hash tools to track progress. Wearable devices. Use Oura Ring, Fitbit, Apple Watch, or Whoop to monitor. Sleep stages. Heart rate variability, HRV. Body temperature. Nighttime awakenings. Sleep and mood journal. Track. Sleep duration and quality. Stress triggers. Diet and caffeine. Energy levels next day. Microscope periodic lab tests. Cortisol, AM and PM or 24-hour salivary profile. Reveals adrenal fatigue or abnormal stress patterns. Melatonin, night urine test. Confirms production levels and guides supplementation. Vitamin D and magnesium. Both are vital for sleep regulation and hormone synthesis. Thyroid panel, TSH, T3, T4. Low thyroid function contributes to fatigue and insomnia. Gear hash how to adjust. If cortisol remains high at night, add more stress reduction practices, ashwagandha, and increase magnesium. If melatonin is still low, improve light exposure and try low-dose melatonin at night. If insulin or glucose is elevated, shorten eating window, increase fiber, and reduce evening carbs. Closing, your path to hormone harmony after 50. Summarize the key points: hormones disrupted by sleep loss, wide health consequences, and step-by-step fixes. Encourage viewers to commit to one habitat change this week, like going to sleep 30 minutes earlier. Call to action: like, subscribe, and share. Invite comments: what's your biggest sleep struggle? Let's beat it together. Tease next Thrive Sphere video, e.g., supplements to support sleep hormones.